Spirit Talker, Spoken Wisdom. Today we're going to talk about the word lonely. A man and woman. That word scares the hell out of a man and a woman. It will scare them so much that they will go throw themselves in a relationship and lose themselves in a relationship that is so terrible for them. And they will sacrifice themselves in it so they won't be lonely. As long as they got somebody there. That is the flesh. That is the flesh. And when you learn how to be alone and lonely, when you learn how to be with your spirit and know that you have the Spirit of God inside you, the seed of your father and your mother's egg is the flesh of human being. It's the flesh of man. But the spirit is of God. If God bonds that seed and egg together and gives it life, trust me, when your dad gave up that seed, he's no longer attached to it. When your mama egg mixed with that seed, guess what? She's still 80% attached to it. She's your mother, but she's not attached on the decisions that you make in life. One thing that's going to always be attached to you is the Spirit of God. A whisper from God comes in the form of a thought. When you're thinking about your thoughts, you are having a conversation with God, the Most High. What comes of that conversation is wisdom. When you learn to speak the wisdom that you receive from God, you speak the living word of God. We are all parts to a puzzle. Every person has a piece to offer to that puzzle. Are you very clear about your piece? The message that God sent you? God sends everybody a different message. We can read the same passage in the book of the devil. And the book of the devil is the whitewashed Bible. That is the devil for the things that it has done to other spirits of society, the flesh of human being. And we still survive through that. They took pictures in front of hanging bodies in trees and still went to church the same day. If it wasn't in the churchyard, Black Lives Matter is another point where proving that it's still the book of the devil, because all lives matter. I see it on front churches. Instead of them bringing everybody together, they separate it. Black Lives Matter means the lives that's in jeopardy at that moment in time. White lives don't have no problems, okay, in society. Society is stacked for you. For black people, it's stacked against us. So right now, even God spoke to us in your book. We didn't believe everything. We believe what we sense, because that is God speaking to us. And there's a lot of things I sense that God told me, no. Don't pay no attention to that. God can speak to you in anything. He can speak to you in water. He can speak to you in the air. He is all. He can even speak to me in the worst person in the world. There's a lot of YT people that I learned the stuff from. That wasn't them. That wasn't the seed of their father. Because their father probably were forbidding it. It wasn't their mother's egg, because their mother's egg followed the man's seed. Led by the man. But I believe it was the Spirit of God. Y'all still have the Spirit of God if you choose to listen to it. But believe me, everybody receives a different message, because everybody's puzzle piece is different. What you offer to the puzzle of God, that is your piece, and your piece alone. But you got to know your piece and what you're offering to God, not based on what society says. You can be an Elon Musk, a Jeff Bezos. None of that stuff can go to heaven. What do you offer spiritually and soulfully, emotionally? Materialistically and physically of the flesh is left on earth. Your soul can go up to heaven's gate, but it cannot go through, because it carries sins of the flesh. You have to confess to all them sins based on earth before your spirit's released from your soul. Once it's released from your soul, it go through heaven's gate with the respect of Jesus. Do you understand how powerful it is? When the Most High God came to earth, he did not want to come to earth as our God. He came as our equal, as our brother. as our brother, big brother. I know society said big brother, so based on, the system watching you. But Jesus has always been watching. He is the sun and the moon. He is day and night. He is always with us. He came here to be physically with us. But y'all killed him. Y'all religion killed God, killed Jesus. Jesus was our brother. He is the earth God. The Most High and God in heaven is the heavenly God. He gave his son domain over heaven's gate because he gave his life for us. He did not need to die. God could have saved him. But he told God, no, I want to see what they do to me. And look what we done to him. And I say we, I know it wasn't us melanated people. We were helping carry the cross. And when I say melanated people, that's all different shades of brown. The ones that never received the privilege. Do you understand privilege? It's a tool of the devil. Loneliness is a tool of the devil. Do not be weakened by the devil's word. The devil have his own vocabulary, and so do heaven. And when you allow the words of the devil to control you, who controls you? The devil. The dynamics of words. Man and woman are in confliction against words that control them. They worry about what everybody else sees in them and not what God sees of them. The spirit is within. The soul is the middleman. The soul is binding the spirit and the flesh, but the flesh choose not to listen. And the translation from the spirit through the soul to the flesh is misunderstood. You cannot find a living word in a dead tree, a book. The living word lives inside you. The living word is your spirit. It does not speak from your seed of your father. You know how your father was raised and some of the things how he was raised. It's not the way you think today, the way you think. And that is what God is. I don't know how you think. That is between you and God. I am nothing but a messenger. What comes of my message, that is none of my business. That is between you and God. But when you feel proud enough to be able to speak what you receive from God and keep it positive, never use God's spirit in a negative way. You use God's spirit in a negative way, that is the devil. And God will know how you use his spirit. It does not matter what man may think. It's what God knows of you. God has had Bluetooth, Wi-Fi for a very long time. You just never been aware of it. My job is to awaken you. The highest thing you can be on earth is a lady and a gentleman. In the eyes of God, you're an angel and a goddess. Anything less than that is your trials and tribulations that you're going through, your dirty boots. Man and woman is the dirty boots. Girl and boy, you're at your apprentice stage. You're learning to become a man. You're learning to become a gentleman. You learn to become a man from your father, and he will demonstrate how to be a gentleman inside the home based on his behavior with your mother and the way he speaks to her. Watch how he speaks outside, and then watch how he speaks inside. And even if he's not there, you're intelligent enough to know the difference. Outside voice does not belong in inside. So a man can talk how he wants outside the house. But inside a home, a gentleman respects. Understand the difference. It's really simple. Stop living in your lower stage as a man and a woman. No one will let a man or a woman inside their home when they have a decision of a lady and a gentleman. And please make sure you know the difference. Don't pretend. Everybody can be a gentleman and everybody can be a lady. But it's when you choose to be that. It's when you choose, make that choice. And God knows, because when you live by your spirit of a gentleman, you live by the words of God, not the ways of man. Live by man, you live by man's society. Religion, laws, and the sanctuary of marriage are made in the image of man. And we know what man dominates society, religion, laws, and the sanctuary of marriage. So let's not lie. When they update with all men and women, then we won't live a fake society, a false God. Man think he is his own God based on what we can do, space we can go to, the depth of the sea we can go. But have we ever thought about the spirit and the soul? The living soul is your emotion. Your living spirit, that is your energy, your mind, your thoughts. That's living in the brain. When you go brain dead, you are dead. They cannot change your brain. That's where the spirit resides. That is God. His spirit resides here. He tells everything to operate and how to operate. You just got to listen to it. Have a blessed day. Spirit talker, spoken wisdom. I don't mean no disrespect to anybody out there. I'm not about that. I could have spoken this many times before, and there are certain places in my video I have mentioned it. But understand this. A woman can become a man. That's if she chooses not to do her godly duties. Not manly, not woman duties, but her godly duties as a goddess to bring life to earth. If she chooses not to do that and choose to hold on to the man inside of her woman, then she can act like a man and become that man. But there's no way in hell a man can become a woman. I don't care if you cut it, tuck it, snip it, clip it, or hide it. Until you bleed naturally for 7 days, carry a child for 40 weeks with God inside you, creating a fetus, eating from the flesh of a female inside the womb of a woman's womb, until you live through a birth, you got to do one of them. You got to either at least bleed for 7 days. That makes you a woman, a goddess. Carry a child for 40 weeks and live through a birth. You perform any one of them threes, then you're a woman. But until then, the closest thing which God put in the Bible, if that's written by God, you're the devil in sheep's clothing. The closest thing I can sit there and say. So until you become a goddess descending from heaven on earth to walk out your manifestation as a female defining your sex, as a girl learning the difference between a woman and a lady, you can never be a woman. I don't hear nobody trying to become a lady out there. You don't see no sex change to become a lady. It has nothing to do with the physical ability of that, because every lady is a woman. But every woman isn't a lady. Understand that. It has to deal with the mental and emotional perspective of her. Plain and simple. Have a blessed day. A little bit of food for thoughts. That's a puzzle piece I offer to you when it comes to sex of a female and a male. Simple as that. And a woman's born as both. Female, woman. She can become that. A man does not have no fee in him. He does not have no woo in him. It's not called a male fee or a man woo. Even though they may act like a man woo. Have a blessed day. Spirit talker, spoken wisdom. This is another piece of the puzzle I'm giving. Everything I give you, the DOC, date of conception for Mother's Day. These are words and the dynamics of words. Look them from your spirit. It will give you more meaning. But we're going to talk about loneliness. Loneliness for a man and woman is a very scary word. And any form of loneliness, being alone, by yourself, you got to learn as a woman to overcome that. Learn how to be with yourself. When you learn how to be with yourself, then you're learning how to be with God. Because if you understand, you can never be alone when God is inside you. Maybe your daddy's seed has no connection. Maybe your mother's egg, but the Spirit of God is inside you, and God is always connected to that. A whisper from God comes in the form of a thought. Think about that. That is God speaking to you. And when you sense something, that is God saying, hey, pay attention. But when you become numb to that and ignore that, and as older we get, we become further away from that because we get rooted into our man stage. Our boy and girl stage, we still connected to that, and even a younger stage, and even animals. But once we become a man and a woman, we become self-sufficient and independent, and we all about ourselves. We cannot think outside ourselves and internally of ourselves, but we think of our flesh, our physical form, until we learn a better lesson that we have to be more within, not just physically, but spiritually. But loneliness, if you know the Spirit of God is inside you, you can never be lonely. And knowing that you can never be lonely, guess what? Go be with yourself. Go enjoy yourself. Go be with one. And being with one is being with the Most High within you. Have a blessed day. Spirit Talker, spoken message. This message is for Zero. Check this out. I want you to understand something. If you're listening to me with the seed of your father or your misled mother's egg and not your spirit, then you're not going to get a different message than what I'm getting or what I'm even speaking to. I will implore you to try to learn how to listen with your spirit, speak with your spirit, and sense with your spirit. That is God inside you. Your dad's seed, he's no longer attached to it from the night that he gave it to your mom. Your mother's egg was misled by the leadership of man, because we're stuck in our man stage and our woman stage. We think like man, we act like man, we do as man. Religion, laws, and the sanctuary of marriage is all designed by man. So I'm asking you, if you want to understand me and the message I give, listen with your spirit. And what you do, process it first, think about it. Because when you're thinking about it, you're having a conversation with God. Now, your free will is to choose the positive of the message or the negative of it. That's what God give you that choice. And if you use his spirit in a negative way, you got to take up that with God. I will never give a message to mislead the spirit of God in any of his creatures, in any of them. That's not what I'm here for. The man in me would not say nothing to you. But me learning as a gentleman, the knowledge I have does not belong to me. That is God's message that I'm supposed to give to his children. Now, you don't have to listen to it, Zero. Don't look for the wrong in it. Everything ain't right for everybody. It's just not right for you right now. When you mature to a point where it will become right for you, come back and listen to it. I promise you, if you listen to my messages 4 or 5 different times, you'll get a different message. I promise you that. Speak to someone. I look, and I love the comments. You know, normally if I feel it was a negative comment, I'll block it. But sometimes it's a learning lesson. And I hope you're learning. Have a blessed day. Spirit Talker, spoken message. This message is for Zero. Check this out. I want you to understand something. If you're listening to me with the seed of your father or your misled mother's egg and not your spirit, then you're not going to get a different message than what I'm getting or what I'm even speaking to. I will implore you to try to learn how to listen with your spirit, speak with your spirit, and sense with your spirit. That is God inside you. Your dad's seed, he's no longer attached to it from the night that he gave it to your mom. Your mother's egg was misled by the leadership of man, because we're stuck in our man stage and our woman stage. We think like man, we act like man, we do as man. Religion, laws, and the sanctuary of marriage is all designed by man. So I'm asking you, if you want to understand me and the message I give, listen with your spirit. And what you do, process it first, think about it. Because when you're thinking about it, you're having a conversation with God. Now, your free will is to choose the positive of the message or the negative of it. That's what God give you that choice. And if you use his spirit in a negative way, you got to take up that with God. I will never give a message to mislead the spirit of God in any of his creatures, in any of them. That's not what I'm here for. The man in me would not say nothing to you. But me learning as a gentleman, the knowledge I have does not belong to me. That is God's message that I'm supposed to give to his children. Now, you don't have to listen to a zero. Don't look for the wrong in it. Everything ain't right for everybody. It's just not right for you right now. When you mature to a point where it will become right for you, come back and listen to it. I promise you, if you listen to my messages 4 or 5 different times, you'll get a different message. I promise you that. Speak to someone. I look, and I love the comments. You know, normally if I feel it was a negative comment, I'll block it, but sometimes it's a learning lesson. And I hope you're learning. Have a blessed day.